What's up? I'm back. For all of you that don't know, I'm in Canada. So I get myself a black iced coffee with some espresso added to it. So, like, right after I started the stream, the fucking coffee shits hit me. So I had to go let one rip really quick. So let's do a quick breakdown for you guys. For the people that are here, I don't even know if anybody's here. I don't even have anything set up, so I can't even see. So yesterday we were trying to play this trade, but it didn't play to fruition on stream. So we are starting to trade into this little key consolidation zone right here. And on the 1 hour, it's more apparent that we have created one. And the most probable thing that happens is instead of breaking above it and starting to trade above it like that, the most probable thing that happens in key consolidation zones when you're trading below it or inside of it is that price will actually stay inside of it. So I'm just playing off of a rejection down here. And the probability of us getting some kind of rejection, even if it's like just a little flag down before it continues pushing up, is pretty high. And we can, as scalpers, we can still play off that flag down if it is just a flag. Or what I'm hoping for is that it's actually the rejection point and it continues trading back in. But nonetheless, that's what I'm playing off of. And my entry signal is just so this would have been the FOMO entry to my entry model, two red candle closes off the top of it. But since we came back for another retest and then we got two candle closes red again, that would be my regular entry. So the probability of it having some kind of rejection now is pretty high. Like I said, even if it is just a little flag down before it continues pushing up, as scalpers, we can still take advantage of that flag if we have a big enough position size. But like I said, since we are at the top of this key consolidation zone, and as you guys can see, there's been like 5 separate times that we tanked off of the top of it here. The probability of it tanking back down is pretty high. So that's what I'm playing off of. And as we get more confirmation candles to the downside, I'm going to scale in. If you guys weren't on the stream yesterday, I lost $1,000. That pretty much wiped this Top Step account, but that is okay because I also took a Bitcoin trade on my live CFD account with Fusion Markets, which made me $10,000. So that's the way it goes with like prop firms, I guess. Like on my live account, I can hike massive positions and risk like $10,000 per trade. But on like a 50K Combine account, you can't really do that. And the only reason why I'm trading like Top Step Combine accounts is because for whatever reason, Top Step and prop firm type of content gets more views, short form and also long form. So that's what I've been focusing on creating content about. But if we get 5-minute candle closes below this little 5-minute support here, I will enter in another 5 contracts. And then I'll reduce risk a little bit too to like break even pretty much. But for right now, we're just waiting to see what happens with this trade. And it still looks healthy for you guys to join in. But if you guys were looking at joining, I would personally wait for it to have candle closes below this little 5-minute support I've marked out down here. Because the probability of it having some kind of reaction like it is right now and wicking back up before it does something like that, or if it just continues pushing up, is pretty high at the point it's at right now. So if you are planning on taking the same position as me, wait for me to scale in after we get 5-minute candle closes below this area. But now we just fucking wait to see what happens and fucking goon until we make profits or get stopped out, I guess. I'm also going to enter this position if we get 5-minute candle closes below this little marked out area on my live account as well. and I will probably have the same stop loss initially, same take profit. And if you guys have watched any of my live trading videos to this point on my channel, you guys will know the probability of me holding to full take profit is pretty low, because I personally enjoy like locking in profits when I got them. But since this is a combine, it doesn't really matter. So I probably won't do that. I'll probably just scale in and then just trail my stop. But on my live account, I'll definitely be locking in profits when I got them. So we're either going to bounce up for another retest, or it's going to break through and continue dropping at the point it's at right now. Looks pretty good though. While this is like doing its thing, let's actually go look at some other markets like Bitcoin or something. Because I personally like trading crypto like Solana USD and Bitcoin USD on my live account. So let's break them down. All right. I don't even know if you guys can see this. This is Bitcoin. Dude, look at all of these fucking lines down here. When I first started trading Bitcoin back in like 2020. Look at that. Look at all these marked out areas I had. Crazy. I remember when I first started hearing about crypto and trading crypto, would have been early 2019, so which have been right here. And the one guy that got me into trading, he's like, dude, crypto is going to be the future. You have to fucking buy Bitcoin, which would have been around this area, the $3,600 mark. And I never bought into it. I thought it was like a pyramid scheme and a scam. And look at how far we've come since then. Like, holy fuck. I'm sure if he bought in like he said he did down here, he has a pretty healthy portfolio right now. But anyways, on the daily, we created this key consolidation zone on Bitcoin, and we're at the bottom of it. And the last couple of days, we've had wicks off the bottom of it. So clearly on the 1 hour time frame, there's probably going to be entries off of that, which we are showing signs of rejections off of this area that I have marked out right here, this red line, which seems to be some kind of significant price area for it to be rejecting off of. So off the 5 minute, we could enter buys right now, which I might actually enter a buy on my live account for something like this. So I think I might do that on Bitcoin. We'll see what happens in the next 3 minutes though. See what US 30 is doing. US 30, no candle closes below this area yet. But I think I'm going to take this trade on Bitcoin on my live account. It's funny because most people that trade these crypto markets, they trade with like actual crypto exchanges, which I do not. I use my CFD account with Fusion Markets, and the shitty part about doing that is that obviously the spread's going to be a lot worse than trading with like an actual exchange. But I don't know if I fucking trust those crypto exchanges, to be honest, for no apparent reason other than my personal opinion. So I bought in to the Bitcoin trade on my live account. It's a pretty massive position, but sometimes you gotta risk it for the biscuit. So we have yet to get candle closes below this area on the top step trade, which is kind of concerning, especially if this next 5 minute candle closes green, especially since we've had a couple wicks off of it. It could be a sign that this is just a small flag and then it continues pushing up. I was hoping to see it do something like this, which I guess it still can, but we'll wait to see what happens. But since it's not aggressively happening, I think we might be going long and start trading above this consolidation zone and start filling into this one right here. But we'll see. It's too early to tell, to be honest, because we're kind of just floating around this area. I don't care about RR. I just like protecting profits when I'm trading like an actual live account because there's no reason not to. So like when you're trading like a prop firm account or like a demo account, there's no reason to be trailing stops. But when I'm trading my live account, you better believe if I'm going $500 to $1,000 in profit, I'm gonna lock in those profits. I couldn't give a fuck about my trading stats on a live account because at the end of the day, with a live account, with a regulated broker like Fusion Markets, you can have the profit you made in your crypto account within like 30 minutes. I got I couldn't give a fuck about risk to reward, win rate, anything. At the end of the day, like if I push into like $2,000 profit on my live account, I can take that and like I said, and have it fucking in my crypto account within 30 minutes. So we're just kind of consolidating on the US 30 trade. And then on the Bitcoin trade, we're floating right before my stop loss. But if we start to show signs of rejections again, back up, I'm going to re-enter because I am incredibly long bias off of this price area, just in general terms for Bitcoin for the day. Like it's probably going to reject to the long side somewhere in this blue box sometime today. And if I get it wrong on this first one, then I'm completely fine with re-entering. Uh, Sometimes I hold winners. Like on my scalp account, I almost never hold winners, but on my on my big investor accounts, you better believe that I'm not even trading on the small time frames. I'm trading on the daily. And then I'll hold a trade for like 2 months at a time. So like this Bitcoin trade that made me $250,000 on my investor account, I held it for like 50 days or something like that. But on my scalp account, which I'm trading right now, and then obviously on the Top Step account, I'm not going to hold winners, which that sounds crazy to some people, but like I said, like I like quick in and out entries when I'm scalping. And like even if you do like even if we do get the position right, like look how much chop there is. Like you could hold like if you enter a buy down here, you could hold the winner all the way until here and then you're like, "Oh yeah, it's going to continue pushing up." But then it tanks back down, right? Like why the fuck would you not just trail your stop loss, especially if you're scalping below these most significant structures to lock in profits? Like obviously like eventually yeah, it did eventually come back up, but like you could have like if you entered down here and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to hold this winner." You had to deal with giving back all this profit right here when somebody that locks in profit would have got stopped out right here and then they could have re-entered and made more profit than you on this other push up that you had to wait for to gain back your profit. So while you were waiting in drawdown pretty much and giving back profits, somebody else that locked in profits could have re-entered the same position twice. So there's no reason to hold a trade longer than you should. Like it's just all like a fucking people are just like poisoned by saying like caring too much about their trading stats. Like it doesn't mean fuck all. In the grand scheme of things, your trading stats don't mean anything. So you shouldn't even be worried about them. I'll be right back. All right. Nothing's happening. That makes me inclined to want to cut the trade until we start to show signs of rejections again on this US 30 trade, anyways. Bitcoin trade is pretty much at break even though. Especially if this candle closes green again, it's looking incredibly healthy to push up for some kind of reaction to the top side. US 30 is being a stubborn bitch, though. I think I'm just gonna enter sell for more contracts on this trade, though. If it wants to continue pushing down, then I'm gonna want to scale in. We have yet to have a 15-minute candle turn green, though, after it started to reject, which is a good sign. But it's a bad sign that we have yet to break below this little support level, like I said. Oh, we might start pushing down now. Hopefully we get enough selling pressure to continue pushing down. I'm gonna fix this configuration on my stream here. Let's fix this so it's all in frame here. There we go. That's better. So we might start breaking down now on this US 30 trade, which will be ideal. So we got the two candle closes on the Bitcoin trade, so it's looking more healthy to continue pushing up. I might split screen that actually. We're just kind of consolidating on this Bitcoin trade now. It's like randomly the volatility died down. But I think either way, it's looking healthier on the US 30 trade to just like kind of like chop down. Especially if we start to get candle closes below this 5-minute support. This is like the main area that which will be the turning point for this trade, I think. So it's either gonna flip up and turn green off of this support that I've marked down here, or it's gonna break below it and then start trading below it for the day. I don't know what a fair value gap is, dude. So if we break below this little support level here, it's gonna probably do something like this. But it needs to break below it and have 5-minute candle closes below. Which it seems like it's trying to figure out if it's going to continue pushing up off of it or it's going to break through. And then the Bitcoin trade isn't really doing anything. Volatility has died out, which is unfortunate. Because personally, I like quick in and out positions if I'm planning on scalping. You know, the worst part about scalping is just sitting here waiting to see what happens over the next like 30 minutes to an hour. I need to get like a fucking golfing simulator in my place or something so I can play a round of golf while this shit plays out. It's funny though because there's actually a golfing simulator close to me, so I could do that. I'm starting to think I should have just did 5 contracts of like the what is it? The minis because this would have been like we would already be up enough that I could just close the trade instead of having to fucking wait for it. That's okay. And the Bitcoin trade ain't doing shit. Like I said, I'm incredibly long bias on Bitcoin in this entire blue area right here. Because I think it's going to reject back up to the top side somewhere in this price range. So like if we do get, or if I get stopped out, I will just re-enter when we start to show signs of rejections again, back up to the top side. This motherfucking US 30 trade It's taking so long to figure out what it's going to do. I've been floating around here for like the past little bit. How much is a mini? I don't really know. I'm still new to fucking futures. So there's micros and minis. I just know, like I said, like I'm mainly like a CFD Forex guy, but I'm trying out futures. So I don't really understand it that much. I just know that if I entered into 5 minis, this would be like a $500 move or whatever. Instead of I have 5 micros in and it's only 150.
Order filled.
So we got put into the other 5 micros. So if we get a candle close here, I'm probably going to reduce risk to above these highs where my cursor is. And then the next significant spot we got to break through is probably this support level right here. So we did not get a candle close below it. So reality, we're still choosing what direction we're going off of this little 5-minute support. So a mini on the Dow, which is what I'm trading right now, is $5 per point. So it's pretty much the equivalent of like a $5 lot size or like a 5 lot for CFDs. So if you get 100-point move with one mini open, that's $500. And then a micro is 50 cents per point. Why did the position move down? I don't really understand that either yet. Like, I think it's because since you scale in, it might take like the average of the position sizes, or it moves it to the point where you would start to lose money P&L wise from being in a position up here compared to like down here. I think it kind of just takes the point where you would start losing money off of both of these positions and then displays that when you scale in. I thought that was weird too because with CFDs you'll see like the individual position sizes. So you would see my position up here and then also the one down here. But with futures it like combines them, which is kind of weird. To me anyways. Still no candle closes below this area. So like I'm still not confident that it's going to continue pushing down. we're still kind of in the middle of this kind of price range where price sort of figures out if it's going to continue pushing down or not. And then the Bitcoin trade ain't doing shit all either. You want to know what I want to check out? On yesterday's stream, I said I was long bias and that on gold, even though I've never traded gold before. And what do you fucking know? It played exactly to my entry that I said it would do. See, like that just goes to show you that like my entry model and my key consolidation zone strategy works with every single market. Like I said, like on last stream, per my strategy, my entry model, I think price is going to fill this area to the top side for gold, and it did exactly that. So like my strategy works on every time frame for any financial market. Clearly, because if you go watch yesterday's stream, I said I'm long bias and I would enter buys on gold if I traded gold, but I do not trade gold. Yeah, I mark out consolidation zones and play off support resistance and the rejections off of them, and that's it. Everything else gets fucking thrown out the window. I don't know what anything else is. And I've been trading this since 2018 and it's kept me profitable since then. So there's no reason for me to know what a fair value gap is, what a fucking trend line is, or anything else, or have any other indicators on my chart. Like if it doesn't, clearly, let's be honest here. Clearly that shit doesn't work. Otherwise everybody would be fucking banking money, right? Obviously, I am a firm believer that those things will help you filter trade ideas. And every now and then, it doesn't matter what you're filtering trade ideas with, you will be capable of hitting one or two good trades eventually with those basic like trend lines or fair value gaps or whatever the fuck you're trading. But I have yet to see anything be as accurate and as good as my strategy, which I started trading back in like 2018 and which I sort of built for myself. So I've just seen absolutely no reason to learn anything else. Plus, I think everything else is kind of garbage. And I give everything, my entire strategy and entry model for free, so. Man, I want to fucking. I don't know if people know this about me, but like I used to live in like Mexico and stuff. When I started my first prop firm, and this is back in like 2020 when I started my first prop firm, and back then it was like the Wild West. You could say whatever the fuck you wanted on your marketing, your website, didn't matter. And my first prop firm with my first marketing campaign, I made like $250,000 over the course of like 2 or 3 months. And I fucking moved to Mexico for like 6 months or whatever. And then I traveled around South and Central America. And right now I'm back in Canada. It's minus fucking 30 here. And my wife is on like a family vacation to like somewhere down south. And fucking, it makes me want to move back to fucking Mexico, dude. Yeah, I was in Guatemala. I went to Antigua and then also, um, yeah, I was in Antigua and Guatemala. I think that's it, honestly. I went to the lake there. I climbed the volcano in Guatemala. This is all like very general information. Yeah, Atitlan. I don't really know what it's called. But yeah, I was all over there. I was in Antigua for like 2 weeks, honestly. So it looks like we're starting to turn up. So it looks like this is the turning point for it to go long. Honestly, I loved Antigua. I could see myself staying there for like longer than 2 weeks. And then I went to El Salvador. I went to San Salvador. And then also, what's the one place in there that's like the surfing place in El Salvador? Yeah, El Tunco, that's where I was in El Salvador. And it's cool because I was there when they were doing like a world championship or whatever. So it just so happened that like when I got there, like all the best surfers in the world were there for whatever competing. El Tunco was like amazing. I could see myself staying there again or going back there. I really want to go back there. So the Bitcoin trade is starting to break up, which honestly I care more about because it's on my live account, as you guys can see. Currently in $2,000 profit on it for my live account. And then it looks like this is the turning point for it to continue pushing up for the US 30 trade, unless it starts to show signs of rejections back down right here. But either way, I care more about the Bitcoin trade because that's actual live money. I actually met some people that were there surfing and they said it was really good. I don't know, like to be honest, I fucking hate Canada and the US, just North America in general. I enjoy South and Central America a lot more. Like it's like you can't even fucking walk across the street whenever you want, kinda, without getting in trouble. And like down in South and Central America, they don't give a fuck. Like why would you want to live in a place that cares so much about like those small things like that? I'm 26 right now. Like there's so many things that like so many small things in like North America that they care so much about and that you can get in trouble for. Whereas like in South and Central America when I was living there, like they don't care. And I think that's how it should be. And not just that, like when I was living in Mexico, I was more in like a local area and the culture is like way better. Like every single night after everybody got back from work, it was like they would all be having like food and dinner with each other in like the street with like their entire neighborhood. You don't see that shit in North America ever. Like it's very like individualized here, whereas like down south it seemed like more like culture and neighborly and people actually wanted to spend time with each other and care about each other from my perspective anyways. Obviously I'm sure it's different everywhere else, but it just seems like a way better culture. And also like the food's way better and everything as well. All I'll say is like when I was living off of like the farmers market meat and like vegetables and fruits when I was down in Mexico, my gut and like just overall my health felt way better than eating the same type of meats and stuff but buying it from North American stores. And I think it's because they just add a bunch of bullshit in it up here compared to like down there. So it seems like I probably should have exited right here on this Bitcoin trade, but we'll see if it gives me another exit. I just wanted to see if it was going to continue on with the buying pressure and continue pushing up, but it looks like it's starting to come back down. So that's my bad. I probably should have exited when I had the 3K, but it is what it is. So since we had like a few candles close green here off of this 5-minute support and we didn't break below it, it's looking like it's going to continue pushing up on US 30. But the only sign that it'll continue pushing down and play into my analysis of being short bias is if we start to show signs of rejections, which it kind of sort of is right now off the top of these wicks. But if it obviously comes up and continues pushing up, I would much rather get stopped out than have to deal with that drawdown. And then for the Bitcoin trade, I could have exited right here with like 3K, but I didn't because I thought I was going to continue pushing up. But we'll see if it wants to give us another exit opportunity on the Bitcoin trade. But the US 30 trade kind of just been floating around this area. I'm in BC. No, I'm in Alberta. So this is the trade that I'm looking for. So if both these trades want to consolidate over like the next 10 minutes and these little price ranges that we're currently in, I'll probably just get off stream and then keep you guys updated in the Discord. But like I said, if I get stopped out on this Bitcoin trade, I'm still incredibly long biased somewhere in this price range. So if we start to show signs of rejections again, sometime throughout the day or the afternoon, I'm going to re-enter buys on Bitcoin. And then if I get stopped out on this US 30 trade, I am not going to trade it again until tomorrow. Ain't nothing happening now. All volatility has died out. Well, I might break down some other charts and then I'm probably going to get off because nothing's really happening. Keep you guys updated in the Discord. So, I've broken down those ones. Euro USD. Let's see what's going on with Euro USD. Let's do a top-down analysis. So we're starting to break down actually on Euro USD, starting to break down into this significant daily support resistance level. So the most probable thing that'll happen is it'll probably repeat what it did right here yesterday and have a rejection off of it. So that's something to take note of if it starts to show signs of rejections off of this massive macro daily support resistance level, to take advantage of a big push up off of it like yesterday like that. Thing to be wary about with the Euro USD is you don't want to get stuck in this consolidation zone if you do end up entering. So off the 5 minute, there's no signs of entries really just yet. I guess you could have taken the FOMO entry right here, but clearly that would have been getting stopped out soon. But long bias on Euro USD for something like this, entering buys somewhere in this price range would be something to consider. And then Sol, it's usually reflective of Bitcoin. So whatever Bitcoin is doing, usually Sol is doing. So same thing yesterday, we've had a couple massive wicks off of the midway point of this consolidation zone. And we're finally starting to break below the midway point, which is a sign it's going to continue pushing down, especially since we are doing what I have previously marked out, which it broke below the midway point, came up for a retest, and now it's showing signs of rejections back down. It'll be more apparent on the 5 minute, as you guys can see. We broke down and have retested the midway point of this consolidation zone a couple times, especially right here. And so looking short bias on Sol as well. So let's say we entered right now and put our stops for something like that. We'll see if that wants to play out. And then Bitcoin, I'm currently long bias for the whole reason of us being at the bottom of this consolidation zone. And then on the 1 hour, we're kind of just like floating around this area. And previously, we've had massive rejections off of this price area for like the longest time, as you guys can see. One right here, a few of them right here, and then obviously previous data as well. We've had rejections off of it. So either way, I am a firm believer that since we're trading above this price range, if price wants to come back down somewhere in this blue box, it'll start rejecting back up, and we can play off of those rejections no matter how big they are. So I'm long bias and I'm still in this Bitcoin trade, but since I entered it, we've kind of just been consolidating right here, which kind of leads me to believe that it's going to continue falling before it wants to push back up and stop me out. So I personally don't like holding trades, especially if I'm scalping for that long, because even if I do get my analysis correct, like obviously with this chop, I could get stopped out before it pushes it into my analysis. And that goes to show the same with like the US 30 trade. I'm not interested in trading GU or USD CAD just because I haven't traded them in a couple months. But either way, GU is pretty much reflective of Euro USD. So probably the same analysis would work out on GU. USD CAD looks like it's playing to fruition of what I said. It's probably going to have like a massive push up off the daily. So if you have like a massive investor account like I have, you probably could enter in something like that for it to fill this entire area over the next few months. But I'm personally not going to take that. And then XAU USD gold, playing to fruition of what I said would happen yesterday on stream when I called it out that it would fill this consolidation zone. So the next thing I would be waiting for is if I traded gold, and if you guys trade gold, I'd be waiting for it to push higher to the top of this consolidation zone, and then start to show signs of rejections like here or like over here before you enter in shorts for it to refill back down. So that's my outlook over the next little bit here. And we will, if you guys want to join my Discord or if you're already in it, I will obviously keep you guys updated with the trades I'm currently in. And I hope you guys learned a little something about how I trade and about trading in general. Anyways, I'll be live tomorrow as well. Hopefully there's more action then.